Hello and welcome once again to the video. In this one I thought I would do a sort of unscheduled video, a midweek video that is not a Grand Prix review video, but rather a video looking at the big news, basically. I didn't feel this could wait until Saturday's video in case things change between now and Saturday. That's happened to me before when I've done a news video, and something big within that news video has changed before it was released 2 or 3 days later. It is, of course, the news of Adrian Newey leaving Red Bull. Now, we've known about this for a number of days, but I think it's all been unconfirmed up to today. But today, Red Bull have confirmed that before, I think they were no comment for the last 4 or 5 days. They've been no comment. We don't know what you're talking about, no comment. But now they are confirming that Adrian Newey is leaving Red Bull after 18 years. He joined in 2006. I'm surprised it's taken this long. He did sort of leave. He didn't leave Red Bull, did he? But he left the Formula One team about 6 or 7 years ago to go off and do another project with Red Bull. But then he came back sort of, a year later. Couldn't stay away from Formula One. Now he's 65 years old, I believe. So, of course, what I want to see is him go to Ferrari, of course. Be there with Lewis Hamilton. He narrowly missed out working with Lewis Hamilton because he joined Red Bull in 2006, and Lewis Hamilton joined McLaren, which is where Adrian Newey had been prior to 2006. Hamilton went there in 2007, so he just missed Newey. Newey would have had a big hand in the 2006 McLaren when he left at the end of 2005, but he wouldn't have had any influence on the 2007 McLaren unless it was following on from the basic design from 2006, possibly. But anyway, the really big news today is this bit has not been confirmed by Red Bull or Newey, but it is believed that Newey will not have to do any gardening leave, where that's when a top person in a team leaves. The team don't want them working on the car anymore because they're not going to be able to put their full effort into it because they're not interested anymore, and they might even potentially sabotage it in some way. But that's not likely. But it's mainly because of taking secrets with them as well to the new team. So they often take that person out of the team pretty much straight away. But they don't want them joining another team straight away. So it's often built into a contract that there will be what they call gardening leave, where the person is basically paid for a whole year or more sometimes to basically not do anything. Imagine that. So they just sit at home. Of course, these guys, they can't stand that. They get bored. I'd love to be paid loads of money just to sit at home. But these people don't like that. So he's managed to, reports suggest that Adrian Newey has managed to get rid of gardening leave. Now, if that is true, then that means that he will be free to join another team straight away from the first quarter of 2025, which is when he officially leaves Red Bull. So he's leaving the F1 side of Red Bull straight away. And then he will take part in the development of the RB17, the new hyper pan-dimensional intergalactic space-time supercar, basically, that Red Bull are working on at the moment. Only 50 are going to be built, the RB17. Only 50, so don't get too excited about it. It's just going to be incredibly rich people who already own about 150 cars already, so it'll just be stuck in a garage and collecting dust, all 50 of them. Just super rich collectors. What's the point? I don't know. What's the point in making it for just filthy rich super collectors who won't even notice they've got the car because of all the other stuff they've got? Anyway, he's going to be working on that, continuing work on that from basically now until he leaves Red Bull in 2025. If you're wondering why that car is called the RB17, that supercar, it's because there was no F1 RB17. There was supposed to be in 2021, but instead, because of COVID, they couldn't develop a 2021 car, so they just had a revamped, updated RB16 from 2020. And the 2022 car was called an RB18, so there was no RB17. That's why they've gone for that, basically. So he will work on that up until the first quarter of 2025, and then he's free to do whatever he wants. No gardening leave. So, yeah, that was the big thing. I was thinking, oh, he's definitely there. Red Bull are definitely going to tie him down to gardening leave, but for a whole year. But no. So whatever team he goes to, if he stays in Formula One, he will be designing the 2026 car. Hopefully that's Ferrari. We know that Hamilton has already got 2 confirmed years at Ferrari, I think, isn't it? I think it's a 2-year deal he's signed at this point. I think he wants to go on longer though, but I think it's 2 years, so I might be wrong. But he'll definitely be there in 2026 anyway. So we will see a Lewis Hamilton, Adrian Newey Ferrari. Imagine that. If he goes to Ferrari. I'm not so certain though, because at his age, 65, does Adrian Newey want to go to a team that speaks a different language and has a different way of doing things? I mean, Adrian Newey is a very calm, relaxed, sedate person. And he's going to have all these Italians jumping around, waving their arms in the air, speaking a language he doesn't know, unless he knows Italian. Maybe he does. But of course, the headquarters are all in Italy as well. If he does go to Ferrari, I wouldn't be surprised if he does if he insists on having a base in England, like John Barnard had. He designed the 89 and 90 Ferraris. I think it was just those 2 years, 89 and 90. He had a base in England. However, after that, the Ferrari bosses always said never again. Keep everything in Italy. Aston Martin are supposed to be interested in Newey, about to offer him loads of money, and that's a classic car make, even though really it's just an existing Formula One car that's had the Aston Martin badge stamped on it. It is still nevertheless a famous brand, English brand. He's in England, they're in England. Also, they've never won a Grand Prix. The Aston Martin team specifically have not won a Grand Prix, so I don't think Aston Martin have been in Formula One before, have they? In the 50s and 60s, I don't think so. But anyway, it'd be more of an achievement raising them to the top, of course, than Ferrari, who are just off the top at the moment. But Ferrari are a very big name, and they seem to be the favourite. That's what everyone thinks Adrian Newey will do. Finish off at Ferrari in the same way that Hamilton is. That'd be quite good. He's got company there, basically. He's got another English person in the team, prominent English person, who's also finishing off their career at Ferrari. So yeah, that would be fantastic if he did that. I'm not going to go into details. I might do another video about Newey, but yeah, Newey, he joined March in 88 and 89. March then became Leighton House. And then in 91 he joined Williams, and then in 97 he joined McLaren, and then in 2006 he joined RedBull. In 1988, his first year, where he was, I don't think he was technical director, but he was part of the design team anyway. He was the main one designing the car. The 88 March did very well, much better than what it was expected to, and it was the only car that managed to overtake a McLaren all year. And that was, I remember it well actually, I remember Ivan Capelli in the March in the Japanese Grand Prix overtaking Prost for like 1 lap or something. It wasn't very long. I don't think it was even a full lap, but he overtook Prost's McLaren, and it was the only time all year that a non-McLaren overtook a McLaren. Normally aspirated March, Judd powered, was it? I think it was a Judd engine, was it? Possibly. But normally aspirated, overtaking the turbo engine of the McLaren of Prost. This car, by the way, I grabbed this car to hold during this video. This is the FW14B, the Williams championship winning car from 1992. Nigel Mansell won the Drivers' Championship, and Nigel Mansell and Riccardo Patrese, between them, won the Constructors' Championship. So, good car to pick, because of course it was an Adrian Newey designed car, basically. Although this model is not particularly good, not as good as my Barago models, but it's okay. Metal, die-cast metal. So there you have it. Yes, I'm excited to see Newey. Now, why has Newey left? That's a bit controversial, isn't it? But, you know, I think it's just because he's been there 18 years. Can you get yourself continuously excited? I mean, he went to Red Bull because of the challenge. He had won championships at Williams. He wanted to go. I don't know why specifically he went to McLaren, because, but they hadn't won a championship for a few years, but only a few years. But I can understand why he went to Red Bull, and I remember him at the time saying it was the challenge. A team that had not done anything in Formula One in the year that they had been in Formula One. And he wanted the challenge of seeing what he could do, turning the team around. So I can understand him not being particularly highly motivated at the moment when they just win everything. And even with all the internal politics and strife and accusations going on within Red Bull, they're still winning every race. And who knows, he may well have personal reasons to do with all the politics and the controversy. He may well have personal reasons also for wanting to leave the team connected to that. We just don't know. But I think it's just that he's a bit bored and he wants to go out with a bit of a bang. Just like Hamilton going to Ferrari. So let's wait and see what Adrian Newey does. But I'm very much so looking forward to it. Right, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and if you'd like to subscribe, please do so, or like the video, or comment, or leave a thanks, leave a tip, sorry, on the thanks button below the video, and I will see you on the very next video. Thank you very much, and goodbye for now.